Switzerland is home to around 100 foreign financial institutions, which make up an important part of the country's financial industry. I'd like to know what Switzerland's breakdown in negotiations with the EU, the collapse of one of its most important banks, and the war in Ukraine mean for them. To speak to me about this is Adrian Noesberger, President of the Swiss Association of Foreign Banks in Switzerland. He is also the CEO of Schroder Bank Switzerland. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Jade.
Adrian, when you became the president of the association, shortly after, Credit Suisse collapsed, leaving a huge hole in the banking landscape. Can you tell me how keen foreign banks are to fill this gap, and which business is it they're going after?
Well, Jade, let me first say it should never have happened that such a traditional and large bank collapsed. And I think we have to take away the right lessons. So the response must be objective, but also goal-oriented. Now, coming to your question, beside Credit Suisse employees, also Credit Suisse clients, they suffer under this collapse. So they are looking for alternatives. In Switzerland, we have more than 230 banks, including 100 foreign banks. So I think that's the positive side for clients. There are many alternatives. Now, these clients are not only looking for private wealth or private banking services, they are also small, mid-sized enterprises, maybe with the international focus, international business model. They are looking maybe for a foreign bank with a strong international network, international roots. Or maybe they are also looking for a loan where maybe a large international bank can step in and provide in a syndicate additional loan capacity. So it's not only individuals, but also corporate clients, they're looking for alternatives.
Now, the first thing you said there was that Credit Suisse's collapse should have been prevented. What do you mean?
Well, I read the report that was published 1st of September by the group of experts, and I think it's a really good report if you want to better understand the situation. I personally took away 3 points. One is the emergency liquidity assistance offered by the Swiss National Bank. The second one is also linked to this, the stigma that we need to think about how to handle this situation. And the third one is the public liquidity backstop. But there is more to come. I think this was a first report. There will be more published, and we should take the time to really understand and take the right goal-oriented measures.
Now, how are your European members at the association affected by the impasse in talks between Switzerland and the EU?
Of course, our banks, or all banks in Switzerland, we have a huge cross-border business. All our members, they have a lot of international clients. So when we have limited access to the European Union market, that hinders us doing business. And I see on one side, we see client needs we cannot meet because we cannot really access the markets. On the other side, I also see that in Switzerland, the job market and also tax income, they suffer. So there's a huge interest to have better access to the European market.
Absolutely. And the other way around, it seems that European financial institutions do get access to the Swiss financial market quite easily. What can be done to improve this in the EU for Swiss financial institutions?
Yeah, I think it should be on both sides. You're right. If we look at the possibility that international EU players, they have to enter into the Swiss market, that's very open by national standards, and on the opposite, Swiss banks are very restricted. And I think it should be well balanced, and I think our government should try to find a compromise in this regard. Yeah.
Already when you became the president of the association, Switzerland had adopted European sanctions against Russia. How do you assess the financial industry's efforts to freeze assets belonging to sanctioned Russians?
Jade, you can believe me that every institution in Switzerland fully comply with national and international sanction measures. You cannot afford to go and work around this. So all what I see, everybody has processes, control instrument in place to be fully compliant with this. Working in a foreign bank, it's even more, as Schroders, for example, our headquarters in London, so UK based. So we are also under the UK regime. So all foreign banks, they normally have to implement these measures even faster than the Swiss banks. So, but overall, all banks in Switzerland, they fully comply with these measures.
It wasn't just the sanctions, but also the collapse of Credit Suisse, including the government-engendered takeover by UBS, and the write-down, of course, of $17 billion worth of AT1 bonds. Would you say the financial industry has lost some of its shine after these events?
In the last 18 months, starting early 22 with the Ukraine war, the sanction on a broader scale, then the Credit Suisse collapse, we received much more phone calls from international headquarters asking us, hey guys, what's going on in Switzerland? Looking back, communication was not good. Communication was not good, in my opinion, from the government authorities, the banks themselves, but also associations. So, and when you do not communicate well, then this creates uncertainty, and under this, the trust can suffer. So there were short-term moments when there was a question marks around Switzerland Financial Center. But I think Switzerland was able to solve all these problems highly professionally, very fast, but we should learn to better communicate.
All right, Adrian, thank you very much for speaking to me today.
You're welcome, Jade.
And thank you to you for watching finews.